Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Flash from Flash Hobbies, and I just want to apologize. I haven't uploaded a video in about 2 weeks. I've been really busy with life lately, and I've been sick for the last week. I'm not sure if you can tell my voice, it's kind of crackly, but I just wanted to do a simple video for you guys. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cut the grill of the Yeti Score, and we're going to use the stock bumper that it comes with to put in a light bar. So the light bar that I chose to do is this RC four-wheel drive light bar. I believe this is the 4-inch double because it has 2 rows. And I didn't actually buy this. I got this in a trade a while back. So I don't have a part number for this, but by the time I publish this video, I will make sure to leave a link in the description below where you can get it. I believe it's somewhere around 30 bucks, maybe 40. So the process itself is not very complicated. I do want to put a disclaimer out there that you will have to cut into this grill. This grill is attached to your body. Once you cut the hole in there, there's kind of no going back on it. So it's kind of, if you want to do it, go for it. I've already tried to like squeeze this back, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me whenever I put the light bar. I'll give you an example. So here we basically have the light bar. It's not installed completely, but as you can see, it's pushing the bumper quite a bit, and I kind of want it to sit flush. So I want the actual body and the bumper to kind of be flush with the front of the light. So I think for me, cutting it's a lot better. So what tools do you need for this job? So it is thin plastic, and you can use a different amount, like a good pair of scissors. You can use a lighter and kind of melt it a little bit, and then just kind of use some pliers to take it away piece by piece. But I really wouldn't advise that. It's going to be a very messy process. If you have a Dremel, that's going to be your best bet. But I understand that this is a power tool, and not everyone has access to it. So I have a cutting wheel here. This one's for metal, but I'll replace it with one for plastic. I might be able to use the same one, but I don't really want to file it down unnecessarily. Of course, you're going to need your light bar, and like I said, this is I believe this is a 4-inch light bar, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, someone please correct me in the comments. You will need 1 pack of 2mm hex nuts. Now, I was trying to find lock hex nuts, but I couldn't find any at my local hobby shop, so this will have to do. These are very cheap. These are 89 cents. And there is a part number on there if you are interested in ordering it, but I mean, most hobby shops have this type of hardware. The next thing you're going to need is 2mm by 10, or if you need any longer, it just depends on you. You're going to use these for the existing holes on the bumper. And again, here is the part number if you do want to order that, or if you just want to compare. And then of course, some thread locker. It doesn't have to be from an RC shop. I'm sorry, this is not focusing in, but it's Z42 thread locker, the blue kind. You can get this at any local hobby shop. You can actually get it at Home Depot, Lowe's. You can get it at Walmart. And then the last part is somewhat optional. So I say optional because this is a decently long cable, and I already measured it. If I run this cable from the front bumper into the receiver box, which is down below, I just make it. I mean, just barely, but that means I can't take off the body. Now, I can actually, this body is flexible enough to where I can switch out the batteries here on the side. That's not an issue for me. So I don't necessarily have to take this body off, but I'm pretty sure for future maintenance and all that, it might be a pain in the butt. So I went ahead and got this from my local hobby shop as well. This is a JR Sport 36-inch servo extension. All this is going to do is just basically extend this one. And I got a female to male. So this is exactly what you need. One side is going to plug into your light, and then the other side plugs into the receiver. So whatever extra wire I have, I'll make sure to use that little tie that they supply and just kind of tuck it away under the body. And that way the light's not going to get pulled whenever I'm bashing, if I'm bumping, or you know, if there's any flex in the body, it's not going to be pulling this bumper all the time. And then once again, here is the part number that I used. Again, you don't have to use this same one. There's mini servo extensions and probably a lot cheaper than this, but again, I got this from my local hobby shop. So in order to keep things kind of clean and just kind of keep things out of the way, we're going to remove the body. So of course, you take off your pins. And there should be 2 pins here in the back, 1 and 2. I didn't have them on. And also typically the body comes off, then the interior with the little guys comes out. And then what I did was I used automotive 3M tape here in between the two, and also here in the front in between the two, and it does a very good job. I mean, this is, I'm pulling it as hard as I can with just my finger, and it's not coming undone. So if you want to do that, that's also a little trick you can use. But anyways, we'll go ahead and set this body aside, and then we'll take a look. So like I said, I wanted to use the existing bumper. Reason being is, okay, let me zoom out a little bit. So I'll backtrack. When Axial brought this out, they were supposed to bring out a faux light kit, which is a fake light kit, just to put here in the front. It was supposed to be one big one here, or you can either do one small, which is a 2-inch, a 4-inch. You can also use alternate here with different ones, or you know, they were supposed to come out with this kit and they never did. So I don't know why they wouldn't. They're missing out on some potential income there, but that's none of my problem. But anyways, this is why I went with the 4-inch. See, so typically these brackets right here are on the outside. So what I did is I put them on the inside, and when you do that, the holes actually line up here in the front. So again, see how these light brackets kind of, it looks a little bit off, but it will fit. I don't think I'll have to drill any additional holes. The holes are already drilled here for you. The one thing I do see is that they're different size. This one's bigger, that one's smaller. So in looking at that, yes, this one might be a little too small for here, but that's why you have the hex nut. It'll hold it on the bottom. And if you have a Dremel, if these are too long, you can always cut them down. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's why the Dremels come in handy. And like I said, the cable here, I ran it there, but once I like passed it through the middle, and I kind of took it away in between anything so it doesn't get it doesn't bind anything. I don't have a whole lot of room. Yes, 36 inches is way overkill for this. I mean, honestly, you can do just a simple 4-inch, 6-inch, 8, 10 extension. So that's at your discretion. I mean, like I said, for me, it's not a big deal. I'd rather have extra cable, and I can just tuck it away neatly. I don't even take off the body that often. Okay, so I put the body back on. Now you can see where you need to make your cut. There's different number of ways you can do this. You can already screw in your light bar and then put the body in. And once it's screwed on, you can push this back and then just cut away a little at a time from there, and then just make sure it fits flush. Or you can trace it with a pin, or you can trace it with a knife. So just decide what you want to do. What I'm going to do is use an X-Acto knife and make just a fine line going all the way down and then all the way back down, and then that'll be my template. I'll cut a little bit before it just to make sure I give myself a little room with the Dremel. So as you can see here, I made my mark there, and I made my mark over here, and the bar is going to come right under this line, so I will cut away at the logo a little bit. That's a shame, but it's worth it for a light bar. So again, if you don't have a Dremel, I definitely recommend getting one. This is the Dremel 4200. This has the easy lock system, so basically you just have interchangeable heads here. The one I have on right now is for plastic, so we're going to go ahead and start cutting into this. Okay, so the body's on. We're gonna go ahead and just pass the wire under here and then see where we're at. Okay, so this side looks good, but you can see here that it's gonna need a little bit more for that notch, or I can cut away at the logo. And then for this side, yeah, it's about the same thing, so I will need to cut a little bit more out. I guess I cut to where the line is at, and you might have to cut a little bit more to compensate for that little notch. Okay, so I just finished measuring it. I ended up cutting 5 inches in total. If you want to use it as a reference, I left about this much here. So there's 1, 1, 2, and then you can see I cut away most of those. Same thing for the other side. 1, 1, 2, and then I left just a little bit. Now I am going to try to save the logo, so I might keep the body up just a little bit, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it down and then see how it looks with the body clips and everything in place. And again, you can cut however you want. I sanded. I'm gonna sand this down a little bit more. Okay, so this is the part where you're gonna use your 4 screws and your 4 nuts. And since I have big hands, I usually take off the brackets and then put them on here, and then you can stretch the bumper to put them back in place. But you do it however you like. And I did forget to mention, you will need one last thing, a 1.5. And again, I have big fingers, so I'm using this to help me. You do not have to do this step at all if you can swing it. Fortunately, I have giant hands. So it would seem that the 10mm is just the right length. You don't really have to cut anything. There is a little bit left over in the back part, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. But the front, you can't really notice it too much. I guess because the front part's thicker. Actually, the 10 worked out pretty well. And I know, you're probably like yelling at the screen right now, oh my god, you freaking idiot, you put it in the wrong one. Yes, I did. I apologize. I'm still sick and I'm under medication, so please bear with me. Okay, now, now we have them in the right place. So here's what I was going to mention. Okay, so you're actually only going to need 1 hex nut for each side, because the second one is actually inside of the bumper part here. I guess the screw part goes all the way in there, so it'll sit inside, and then you'll see 1 here. So it actually didn't stick out at all, and the 10, I'm sorry it's not focusing, but the 10 worked out pretty well. There's only, there it goes, there's only that much left. That's really not a lot. I think if you go any shorter, it might not work. Okay, so here's the part where you use your thread lock. So you can either use it before you put the hex on. I'm actually just going to put it on top here, then make a little seal. Since it is plastic, I'm not expecting it to really come out, but a little bit of thread lock on there won't hurt. So now what you want to do, like I said, just go ahead and put one side of your light bar in, and then so you can extend the bumper, and then you'll see that it goes right on the other side. And then actually I have a little bit of room to flex it, so that's a good thing. So it's actually going to give a little rigidity to this bumper in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and put thread lock here on each end, and once we have that tightened, then we're going to put the body back on and see how it looks. Okay, so now we have both sides tightened. See, I can pick up the whole vehicle. It actually made the bumper a lot more rigid. So there it is. I like the way it sits. Actually, I was able to keep the logo. It does get on top of the bar, and it kind of makes it look a little like uneven, but I'm gonna take that risk because I really wanted to keep the logo. I might chip away at just the black part just to kind of put it down just a little bit, but overall I really like the way it came out. So here is the last part, the optional part actually. So like I said, I'm gonna put the servo extension on this, but you can also use a power switch, and that'll give you the length that you need. So if you really do want it to turn off and on, that's all you're gonna have to do is just use that power switch. That'll give you the length that you need, and also you can just put the switch somewhere else. I'm just gonna have it to where it turns on directly whenever the vehicle is on. That's the whole point of the light, is that I want it on. Okay, I've ran all the cable. I got it zip tied, all the extra back here under the motor, and it's attached to the ESC holder, and I ran the cable under. Then the next thing you're gonna do, there are 4 screws here, and then you just connect it to any open receiver, you close it, and that's it. Like I said, if there's a power switch, then the power switch will be inside of the vehicle itself. So there you have it, guys. It's all installed and ready to go. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below as well. And again, I apologize for the delay in videos. I will try to speed up the process and get some more videos out to you guys. But until the next time, I thank you for watching Flash Hobbies, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.